Now I'm in Fujian province. Changping, it's very famous for Shui Xian. It's a sensual view and it's a sensual place. All these different type of grass inside the tea. We're now trying one more Tie Guanyin. Drink tea this way on the street. So the real tea culture, what is actually real tea culture?
Those colors remind me of those colors. Those colors remind me of you.
Hi guys, so I'm again in China. I'm very happy to be back here, it's like at home for me. And I'm in Xiamen city now, my starting destination, because here we have our warehouse and here we have many of our suppliers. And now I need to try a lot of tea. So we now arrived to my old friends who are producing here in Anxi very specific type of tea. Actually, last time in April, I already went to his tea garden here up in the mountains in Anxi, and they have abandoned garden of Mei Zhan variety of Oolong. And I ordered to produce all amount what he actually can produce, and this is actually all amount. There's only a few bags, very small, tiny bit. And it's 3 batches, so each day we have less than 50 kilo of tea, all 3 batches. And we want to compare, we will try all 3 days tea. And he have a quite specific production method also, so it's not fully same as local technology, not local style of production, because it's really a little bit more looks like let me say Dansung production, northern Guangdong, because it's very light, as I see by the leaf, and a little bit different even from the previous type. So I really want to try. Okay, 开了，好。So we will try this tea. I'm also very curious. Oh yeah, we now drank 3 types, and actually one of the type which was harvested on the first day. And this type actually the most unpleasant looking by appearance. You can see, yeah, not processed with selecting the stems and everything, so it's not so pleasant by the appearance. And this is with machine, so it's GT Qiaogan, so this was processed by machine, so all the stems, all the small fraction was moved. And this is also, but the most tasty tea is this one. And if you look by appearance, you never distinguish that this is good tea, because for any Chinese, this is, wow, this is kind of trashy looking and so on. But actually, this is the first day of harvesting, so it's the best if you compare the aroma, fragrance, maybe the deepness in taste. I think this one is the best for sure. The second and the third, they are also good, but for sure not even close to what we now doing. So yeah, that's the thing. So we will decide to take this one. It will be great addition to our collection. We're now trying one more Tie Guanyin from a new producer who actually produced for us Mei Zhan tea. This is Tie Guanyin. It's made by traditional Chantong way, traditional taste, and actually it's one of the most loved by locals. But actually a little bit more prefer Tosuan way, which is more fermented, 2 days fermentation one. And there's also Huaxian way, which is flowery aroma, And there's also Zhenwei. Zhenwei it's actually very close to the traditional Chuantong Wei. Zhenwei it's a real taste. So this real taste, Zhenwei and Chuantong Wei, they're two of the traditional flavor, traditional technology of Tie Guanyin production. What's the difference between the rolling of oolongs? Here we have two types of oolongs, which is Tie Guanyin variety, Arangonas, very famous one, and Mei Zhan, beautiful plum variety of oolong. And this is called actually Keli Cha or spherum type of rolling. It's a half spherum, let me say, because traditional Taiwanese rolling is full spherum, is like a really like a small spherum appearance. But here you see like half spherum. And this is a Tiaoxin Cha. It's actually a traditional for all Fujian, northern Guangdong, and even in Taiwan, in Pinling, also they have similar type of rolling. This is a more traditional one, and this is a more modern one. They are different. We can't say that this is like better or worse. It's just different type of technology. But for shipping and for preserving, for more long-lasting taste, this kind of spherum, it's a little bit longer. It's not so sensitive to storage. This one a little bit more sensitive to storage. You need to really close very tight all rock oolongs, Danson tea, or even softened Fujian tea or Taiwanese tea, which is produced by this technology. You need to close very tight because it's really can be spoiled very fast by breathing, let me say. And this one is tight rolled, so it's less affected the storage, so it can be preserved for a longer time. But also depending on the last stage, the baking or actually baking stage, tanbei of the tea. So if it's light, like these two are light baked, and both are already lightly baked, you can make different stages of baking. 3 stages, 2 stages, 1 stage, different temperature, so it can be more dark, much darker than now. And also here's like brewed. The both is light. It can be or semi-product for more stronger baked tea, or it can be just a product, so we can drink it as it is. This also affect. It's also really depending of the how do you. What type of tea do you want? So actually, tea factory is a kitchen. So this is why we are here. We trying different teas, and we decide what we need to do with that later. So this is the main difference: the appearance, the rolling, Tiaoxin Cha and Keli Cha. So we arrived at the next factory. It's our friends. Then they order to produce batch of Tie Guanyin tea. Here we can see even by appearance how differently looking the organic tea. Actually, not only because it's different variety, because we can see Tie Guanyin is much bigger, much thicker leaf. It's not Mei Zhan, it's Tie Guanyin variety. But also we can see the main processing stage here during the withering. You see the lady and the other workers of the factory, they now pluck all the grass or which is inside the tea. But why this grass or this different type of grass inside the tea? Because it's organic tea, and it means there was no glyphosate, no other herbicides, and it means the tea surrounded by a lot of other plants, and you need by hand select all the plants out. Yeah, 你好，你好，你好，好久不见，忘记拍一个广告，谢谢你啊，谢谢谢谢。Just the owner of the factory came and invited us to drink some tea, but I say just the first we film, explain a little bit the story behind, and go there. So actually, you can see how much of the grass inside. Regularly, in the different just common harvesting, you can have some of the grass, but not as much because it's organic one, and it means there are no glyphosate which fight this grass, these different plants, and you need to pick them by hand. That's it. Yeah, and aroma is absolutely incredible now. Also, you can see that this stage of withering is a little bit longer. It's already the tea crop became a little bit thicker. It means it's almost fit the next stage. It will be indoor withering. guest of my Taiwanese friend who actually work here in Anxi, and we collaborate quite a long time already. And he's producing traditional, also how to say, long leaf rolling, more original, let me say, technology, more old traditional technology, Oolong. This is Jin Guan Yin, but it's made with a much higher fermentation. It's up to 80% of fermentation, which is quite high for Oolong, generally speaking. So it's almost like black tea, but it's not black tea, not Sheng Cha, not red tea. The aroma is not yet there because it's a semi-product. It needs to be processed for aroma, but now it's already such an unusual taste, quite really rural, like a really good one.
Those colors remind me of those colors remind me of you.
It feels like we're walking up this mountain. We're walking up this mountain.
We'll see you around the corner somewhere. We'll pass you around the corner somewhere. Standing and waiting for us.
Here we actually do the final stages, the roasting and the rolling. Actually, here is kind of pressing, we can say more clear, because they make kind of cubes like this, pressure machine. And after the press and roast, and after they have final drying, yeah. So this is how it works. I'm arrived to the factory which we work already more than 10 years, and now we want to try some black tea here. They mostly produce black tea from Oolong tea varieties, like Mei Zhan, Tie Guanyin, many other varieties, and they used to produce black tea, or red tea, how we call it in China, Sheng Cha. We will try a few types. It's very interesting because regularly this time I'm not arrived here. I'm most of the time here in March, but now it's the middle of May, so I will try some more kind of affordable versions of black tea. So okay, I know this guy, let's go and let's try it. Sometimes you can find something, sometimes you can order something and so on. And for me it's very important to see not only what each producer do, but what each producer produce during certain season, because it really affects the quality. And not necessarily someone had good tea in early spring, but later the weather became better, and sometimes tea which produced later can be even better, or same quality, or more good pricing, or whatever else thing can occur, because it's a living product. Tea you need all the time try, which we actually do now. So we're now trying oolongs. Actually, this is quite rare, Sheng Cha oolong, so it's very rare for local place, because most of the time here when you produce Tie Guanyin, it's actually Cha, so it's serum tea, not this type of rolling. But here they have a traditional type of rolling. This is Jin Guan Yin oolong. Here we have two types of Tie Guanyin, traditional technology, and here we have Mei Zhan. This technology a little bit similar to what we now have in Moychay, and what we have a little bit similar to what we have in Guangdong downstream tea, but still different. And mostly close, I think, to Yan Cha method of production, so rock oolongs. But still, this is not rock oolongs because it's often Fujian oolongs. So it's quite unusual tea. And I want to try what we have as a result, because most of the time Southern Fujian oolongs, they not produced in this shape. Yeah, but now we have.
We'll see you around the corner somewhere. We'll pass you around the corner somewhere. Standing and waiting for us. Those colors remind those colors reminds me of those colors.
The message is, and the thing that you told us last time, that we saw you is keep going.
So I just want to share with you the aroma because it's incredible. I'm now in the factory for Tie Guanyin production, and we work with this company already for, not company, just the farmers. We work already more than 10 years, I think, and they produce those one Tie Guanyin. And actually this Tie Guanyin is, we need 2 days of fermenting, and now we, in a room, there is already second day of fermentation. The tea will be ready only maybe day after tomorrow. And let me say, it's absolutely fascinating aroma of honey. So then you enter the room, you think like, oh, it looks like here honey somewhere. From where it comes from? Actually, it comes from the leaves. So it's very aromatic, it's very intense, and we can see how the leaves are slowly fermenting. Here you can see the difference. This is a fresh leaf, not yet fully fermented, and here it's already fermented. But you need to still, the whole leaf will be equal fermentation. The fermentation starts from the younger leaves, and when it comes to bigger, stronger leaf, older leaf, you need longer time. This is why we fermented for 2 days. So you need literally wait till the whole 5 leaves or 6 leaves sometimes will be also Hongbei New Year. You see this red or dark brownish angle edge of the leaf. Actually, this is called in Chinese Hongbei New Year. So this is ideal oolong semi-oxidation, right? So here we have fermented the edge, and the inside is still green. And this is actually how all the leaves must be after the proper shaking and proper fermentation. Actually, one of the most difficult and steps you need to really control is how to adjust the humidity and the temperature, because it also depends on what type of technology you implement to certain type of tea. Because for Tie Guanyin, for this type, Toswan Tie Guanyin, you need 2 days of fermentation, and during these steps you also can a little bit adjust lower, higher temperature, and also the same with humidity. And it means if it's too hot, for example, tea can dry out. If it's too cold, tea just not ferment. So there is a secret. You need to know what exact temperature, and also you need to see what kind of leaf you harvested, because, for example, as I told, like younger leaf are fermented quicker, and bigger leaf, older leaf, you need longer time for it, and to not over dry the young buds, you need to also play with these parameters. How humid here, and what kind of temperature you use. So it's all adjustable, and it's all kind of a secret depending on what kind of technology you want to implement to certain type of tea. So this is a very crucial step. And also during this dithering, fermenting, you also do shaking from time to time. And each step, it's also different, because some factories you can do like 1 hour dithering, like shaking 20-15 minutes, again dithering. Here they do it a little bit longer. So for example, like 3 hour kind of fermenting, after shaking, after again 3 hour, and it depends. You can also change these parameters depending on what you want to receive as a final product. And this is why it's so complex steps in technology, and why it's so actually complicated question how to create perfect tea. You need to all the time control, and professional technologist he can just smell the tea and say, okay, now the step like this is ready. Okay, I need to go further. That's very important, and this is these tiny details you can't see from the first sight. Even me, all the time learning to see something new. Now I'm in Fujian province, and this is one of the hugest plantations across southern Fujian. Sadly, I can only observe them because here is not organic plantations, but beautiful plantations anyhow. Really scenic views and all these wonderful pictures and so on and so on. But one of the problems over here, you can see
The top of the hill also planted with tea, many, even those like very high ones. Everywhere, like up to 80–85% everywhere is tea, and a little tiny bit of forest somewhere. And that's not good, actually, because it's not sustainable, and it also provoke landslides, not so much water, not so much environmental care. Finally, you need to really care about this thing, because I ask some locals and they say like, yeah, local government was jailed not so long time ago because for a certain period of time they just didn't control that properly, and also allow some entrepreneurs, okay, cut any trees you want, grow whatever you want, any amount. So that was really a ridiculous practice, and it's not only Fujian province problem, it was like many places. Now luckily it's changed already. Yeah, really people like grow too much, and it provoke landslides, it provoke some damage to local ecosystems for sure. Yeah, some regions you can see like 50–40% forest, all the rest is tea or other agriculture. It's preferable, let me say, percentage. Not everywhere, but yeah, some provinces implement different type of regulations, but anyhow, never cut the trees on the top of the hills, because it's main reason why soil became dehydrated and water disappears. So that's important.
We're sending you a big hug. Love you.
So we just randomly visited now Gande. Gande is a very famous destination in Anxi County in Fujian province, and farmers grow Tie Guanyin tea, and yeah, actually we decided to try. Actually, it was just on a way, quite random visit, and we decided, okay, let us just research, look a little bit, maybe we find something new and find something interesting. So I asked farmer brew some 4 types of tea. Regularly I brew myself, but in respect of the farmer, I don't know him yet. So I just want to check and let him feel more comfortable and confident about what he's doing, and just to try his tea. Ask him brew different grades and to check what's the quality. Maybe we will find something new, maybe not, but I want to check it out. Already tried maybe more than 8 types of local Tie Guanyin, maybe even more. And now the farmer brought me 2 more aged teas, as you say. I think one is really aged, but second one is just roasted and baked later on very high temperature, and maybe for a little bit longer, long-lasting baking kind of. Finally, we have now trying to understand local tea, the main idea. And what I found out that he is really a good technologist, because he have one tea which is more, yeah, different kind of fragrances, different kind of aromas. We have very aromatic one, just have almost like milky aroma. I think this is why people do milky oolong, because actually they just add a little bit of milky flavor to this tea. It will be real milky, but without any actually flavoring. It's already have it. And the one is have absolutely incredible sweet honey taste. And I say, okay, we want to make it in one tea. Is it possible or not? And he say, okay, I will try next year. I have an idea. It will be a little bit more expensive, but I will increase dithering time and maybe also change a little bit some other technique steps. So we will try out. And that's will be a good idea. Not just one is great aroma and second is great taste, but both in one tea. And it's great, and technologists really understand what you want, and he's really focused on one single product. He only produces Tie Guanyin tea. arrived one of my favorite factories in Fujian, and we here made by order a few types of tea. One is GABA, which is very high content of GABA. Actually, we made a test in SGS and Guangzhou, and this is absolutely incredible. It's made from Jin Xuan, and also this one is from Qingxin Damao. This is a cultivar which used for Mei Zhan Oolong production. The third one is actually from Aijia Oolong. It's both made by Taiwanese Sheng Cha technology, but made here in Fujian province. Wow, how I like its freshness as soon as it's just made. This is only the first infusion.
海拔1000是不是很甜？
对，很甜，然后很那个。
对，它海拔高就是这个。
对。We tried already 6 teas. We tried some red tea, some oolong, some GABA oolong, and now we're testing white tea, which was made by our order. Actually, this one was made 4 years ago, but that one was not so good weather. This is why from that year, 2021, white tea was not so perfect. And I can say, but now, after aging of 4 years, it became wonderful, very smooth. But from this year, from 2025, wow, even better, really sweet. And this is also because of the good weather. This year is a very lucky year if you talk about weather, because it's much better than previous, actually several years season. It's absolutely incredible tea. Maybe it will be loose, maybe we'll do some tea cakes, compress it, we will look. But this is good. Oolong made Jin Xuan, Jin Xuan variety made white tea.
So the real tea culture, what is actually real tea culture in China? We all know, okay, Zen meditation, kind of Gun Fu Cha ceremony, Zisha pots, purple clay pots, Gaiwan, whatever we have for really mindful tea consumption. What was actually Yao drinking now, not only here in China, but everywhere, Nai Cha, or milk tea, or bubble tea, how people call it, and actually now it's already much broader. It's kind of tea bar concept, which we actually also have, but it's quite different. Here we have all these possible drinks. Sometimes there's some berries or even any other products, not necessarily tea, but we want to try a local brand which is called Gumin. Gumin actually is kind of ancient name, and for some reason we just translate it like good meal, just for better sound. This brand mostly on the surfer channel. Now we're in Fujian province, in Zhanping, and we want to try it. Let's research it. And actually now I'm much less critical to such concepts. Why? Because it's tea. That's the most important thing. It's tea. It's not coffee. It's not alcohol. It's not any kind of other substances. Let me say, this is something that people really used to drink tea. Maybe first we try from very basic. Okay, let's try this matcha. It's a good Moychay tradition. It's kind of matcha made from traditional variety and matcha made from Lunjin. We tried both. Well, look how it, I don't know, it's good or bad. I will let you know as soon as they now preparing it. And and I think that as soon as people get used to drink certain tea, maybe not real tea, not Gong Fu Cha, but still, they will slowly adapt to tea character, tea, like they know the tea, and later they will maybe switch to something more advanced as soon as they grow up. As we see, some people, okay, the bar concept is something, I drink some tea, some trendy, whatever, with ice and sugar and other whatever stuff they put there. And also what I also find out, that when I was in Taiwan, if you never watch my Taiwanese research for tea houses and tea places like here, you can look my video about Taiwan. Actually, they also switched the trend. People start more and more selling not the bubble tea actually, but real tea brewed just in to go in Taiwan. And I think this concept also will go here. It already exists. I think maybe here we also have some just tea to go. That's it, without anything else. Maybe yes, okay, it will be in a cup, not a ceremony one, but they also have it. That's great. So people can just buy tea easily. That's important. And to make a proper habit, and later those who want to develop more advanced interest to tea, they just switch to tea houses. That's wonderful. We bought Longjing and we bought Sui, two types actually of matcha. And what most surprised me, it's not as bad as I expected and as I tried before. For example, even in Taiwan, I went to a few these bubble tea shops just to research, and not so much sugar, quite balanced taste, and actually they have these actually bubbles. And here we just, I think, some plant milk or just real milk with matcha. It really have matcha taste with Longjing aftertaste, and here it has matcha taste with Oolong cha aftertaste, Oolong tea aftertaste. So it's kind of not as bad as it can be. For sure, it's not premium experience. It's not like something which you can get in a real special place. But still, as a starting point to understand tea and to develop certain, let me say, understanding of tea culture, that's a good thing to do. And actually this is also not very cheap. This is 14 yuan for one cup, which is almost like a easy meal, like to go somewhere in China, not everywhere, but in some rural areas. For 30 yuan you can have a lunch actually. But here for 14 yuan you just have only one cup of this milk tea, 2 euros, around 2 euros, which is for China is quite high price, let me say. Yeah, there are more affordable chains which have thousands and thousands of shops. This is quite a little bit not so huge. This kind of middle class, maybe we can say high class for certain reason. And I think that this kind of approach that they promote the tea as a product, and they also have real tea which you can just brew without any sugar and whatever. That's a good thing because people just start slowly understand tea and grow, and then later we can switch to something more advanced if they want. So that's good to know, and for me it's interesting experience anyhow. Actually, Fujian province is one of the most tea drinking provinces in China. What I really like, people who absolutely maybe not into tea, even they don't have a tea shop or they don't do tea business, they just drink tea with a gunfucha style. And it's quite normal for here, not for all China. Most of the Chinese actually don't care about tea culture in general. So it's just a shop of flowers, and they have a tea culture drink over here. Even the guys just brought some local Zhen Shui Xian, asked to drink, and they have gaiwan, all the cups, some tea tray, and they just drink tea outside, which I really appreciate a lot because people just spend time with tea, and it's quite normal for Fujian province because actually they share the origin of gunfucha of traditional modern, let me say, way of gunfucha. It's still southern Fujian, northern Guangdong place, which we were quite close. We in Changping, and they are really drink tea this way on the street, and it's just a regular tea drinking. So they not appreciate it as a ceremony. It's just a regular tea drinking like this. They don't have any other method of brewing. Most of the time you see gaiwan, cups, some pitcher, tea tray, easy brewing, but still some kind of wipe. And for sure they drink Plantation of Shui Xian, local oolong tea. We are in Snegovik. I don't know how it's in English. Actually, it's kind of snowman. Very big chain, one of the biggest chains actually, more than McDonald's, more than any other Western chain of everything. This is like Chinese chain number one. And they have 3 times cheaper than their previous good meat company. Actually, only 8 yuan, which is nothing. And we just decided to buy. They have also all these milk products, but we decided to buy just tea. So this is just black tea, Hong Cha, and this is just green tea, Liu Cha. Okay. So this is just a regular iced tea, without sugar, without anything. I didn't try it yet. We will try for sure. Firstly, I just want to explain it. And also they present us these 2 wonderful bags of, I don't know what is it, but it's also 8 yuan for all, like €1 for 2 persons. Actually, this is tea And then it's Snow King. I probably say Xue Wang. They also have coffee, but we didn't mention it. They don't have coffee. I don't drink coffee. This is only tea. So this is just tea. A little bit of ice and tea. And I think this tea, okay, it's very basic, but it's not even close as bad as tea bags. It's much better than tea bags. That's great. So for mass adoption of tea consumption among young people, I think it's a great thing to do, because actually as soon as you have, okay, tea to go everywhere, people drink tea, like chada culture in Vietnam, for example, or okay, 5 o'clock in England, or whatever other tea tradition which is widespread across country. It means that people slowly will move from this kind of, okay, very commodity level drinks, very low level quality, but still this is tea. I drink this and I think, okay, this is black tea. Yeah, it's very basic one, but it's much better than tea bags. And this is people get used to drink something. First they drink just bubble tea, later they just want to drink like this without any sugar. After, from very first sight of trying real gunfucha or oolong or black tea or whatever, green tea, premium yellow tea, pu'er, whatever aged tea we try, we can easily switch. And this is a good, they have a stairs of evolution of tea consumption. I think is a very good first step. And it's so great that thousands of these xue wang all across China, not only, and also other like thousands and thousands of these bubble tea shops. And that way really switch from just only bubble tea, only sugar, on this a lot of unnatural flavored teas, to just real tea. They also have it as an option, and that's great. You know, we have some kids arrived. Also, this is our next generation of tea culture. Oh, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. They will grow, and they will adopt tea, and they will drink tea as a gunfucha. I just explained to the kids, like, guys, you need to switch from just a regular basic bubble tea to something like more advanced. And they listen to me. Actually, I think they appreciate it. We now at Jianping. Jianping, it's the capital of Jianping Shui Xian production. Actually, Jianping Shui Xian Oolong tea. Here I also was before. If you don't look before, you can check my video about Jianping more precisely. We, already started today our travel around this area. We now go to some new organic tea factory we want to discover. And on the way, we just found a guy who produced local bamboo baskets. And what I like a lot, actually, it's not only here, but many other regions in China, people still do by hand these baskets. They are very efficient, they are very strong, because bamboo, it's almost impossible to break. You just take real bamboo material, and it's very flexible, and at the same time very strong, and it's still very natural. You have zero waste, super sustainable, 100% recyclable basket, actually, and it's still living thing. It's not just one guy who doing it here, I think. It's sold also not very expensive, about 100 yuan. It's quite primitive things, that, but we can see also that many producers who focus on teaware, we also do kind of high-level bamboo material, handmade just utensils. It can be like some tea trays or some chaju, like, and they can also cost sometimes quite high, because you need to make it by hand, and you need to spend a lot of time. And they're also, if it's more precise, more delicate work, and with a more thinner layers, more thinner particles of bamboo. It's actually during my talk here, almost finished whole basket. He worked very fast. And it's traditional craft, I think, for many generations, actually. 谢谢，你也做，就是说。好，可以，好，可以，谢谢，麻烦你。So she invited us to drink some tea. We can't decline it. Thank you very much. 谢谢，可以，我们就喝一下。对。He also produced some tea, which is quite common. If you are here, you for sure also grow some tea. So we'll try a little. Okay. 坐下。可以，谢谢。
So finally we find out the wild tea actually, which is grown here in the mountains, more than 800 elevation actually, and they're now still harvesting it. And yes, even the color is like darker green, is much different from other Zhen Shui Xian varieties we tried here yesterday and today in other places. So we really wanted to check it out. It's already aroma, such a great aroma. So yeah, we want to try it again. It's very difficult to find actually, because all the time when you really want to find wild Sheng Cha, it's such a small amount. No one have it actually most of the time. And yeah, but we have it here. That's great. And we went already in Zhenping a couple of times, but the wild Zhenping we not yet find out. But now we had luck, a little bit more of time, which is the most important thing here is time. The aroma is already incredible. So we're trying second batch actually, and yeah, because for wild tree and for big Lao Tsung, how we call it here, old bush, it's even more significant difference between the batches, because like, okay, you harvest today, you harvest next day, even sometimes you harvest in the morning, you harvest after midday, just different bushes, even in the same plot of land, different taste. And especially such a delicate aromatic teas like Shui Xian, they're really different from batch to batch, even more. And as soon as it's wild, yeah, it's also much more different than the plantation tea. We drink the other one. For me, I can say a little bit more, let me say, softer taste, not so intense. How Chinese say, 淡，比较淡，没有什么口感，不太重的口感， not so strong taste. And the aroma is there, but for me it's a little bit more. 这个比较淡，是不是？ We now on Shui Xian plantation. Actually, Zhenping, it's very famous for Shui Xian. It's very interesting how the leaves look like. It's very kind of strong, and actually it's a little bit different from Shui Xian, which we have in Moychay and which we have in its origin Jian'ou, because originally Shui Xian variety is from Jian'ou, northern Fujian. And here in Zhenping, most of the plantations, maybe up to 90-something%, it's all Shui Xian. I never asked so many people. Not even one person said they have something else. It's very interesting, because most of the places in northern Fujian, southern Fujian, northern Guangdong, if they grow oolongs, they have many varieties, not like one variety. But this place is just single variety, all the area around. And also what we find out here, the method of growing is much better than in other areas. Why? Because you see, at least half of the mountains is actually forest, especially the top of the hills, no one cut. A little bit somewhere they can see the tea, but most of the places is still the forest. Like half places, half mountain is the forest, half mountain is the plantation. And this is much more sustainable, because yeah, there are no landslides, there are more water, and that's really a good practice comparing to other regions of Fujian, but not. There are some better even places where we're now going, because we're now going to visit some organic tea factory. We want to establish better relations, and yeah, we will find out what they have there. We're now in one of the most famous chains of bubble tea, whatever, cha, tea bars, whatever. It's a kind of tea Starbucks in China, and it's kind of famous brand. It's very kind of luxury Starbucks, luxury tea bar, okay? Cha Zhi. And I like the design, so they have very good design. And it's really like kind of a cafe, also even with approach to good tea, because they have also kind of regular tea that is good. Maybe we will also check, because I ordered some jasmine tea, and also they have some cups. I like the design actually, good design.
I don't know what's about quality because it's 100 yuan. It's quite a lot for a cup. I ordered fresh orange jasmine tea. We will try. I paid 20 yuan for this and I want to check what is it. And they prepared for already like a few minutes. Maybe they do it by hand or they really brought real oranges. Wow. And they actually serious about tea culture. See, cha shan. So you can really kind of learn tea culture for this, and actually they have real tea mountain, and they have Tulo for certain reason, and there is a Chama Gudao, ancient tea path standing everywhere, and ladies actually stand with this, you see, on Chama Gudao, you know, so they really kind of promote the original story of tea appearance in China, and also the elephant here, I think it's maybe something about Yunnan province. Yeah, some tea leaves withering outside. So people at least learn something about tea and about tea production. And also we have here some black tea, oolong, or something related to tea culture. It's better than coffee anyhow. And this is kind of really high-tech solution, you see. The lid is open here, so you can drink out of here. You can also open it like that, also drink out of here. Wow, it's made from kind of good material and even a holder, so don't freeze your hand. I don't know, or I don't know what's the reason. We will try it. Okay, anyhow, and this looks like apple juice with sugar and with ice and with a tiny bit of tea for 20 yuan. Okay, so for 20 yuan, actually I can buy a kilo of oranges and make one big bowl of this kind of drink. Maybe people will understand it somehow, but not me. We arrived in organic tea plantation, and actually the owner is actually a great man, because his approach to sustainability is really essential, because he has 5,000 hectares and only 1,000 he keep for tea plantation, and 4,000 he keep as a forest, literally forest. You can see it over here. So very few bushes, some plots of land which are occupied by tea gardens, and all the rest is just a forest. And he keep it like that because he located on the border with a huge sanctuary, actually, how in Chinese it's called Baohu Sanling. So it's an area which is fully controlled and they protected by the government. So it's not even close to, there are no any settlements, no any villages, there are no any industry. So it's fully, we located like in a valley of wild forest, and there's a few tea gardens. Here they grow only Shui Xian variety, and they produce traditionally local Zhen Shui Xian tea, but also they have some white tea, Bai Cha, black tea, or red tea, how we call it, Hong Cha. We will also try. We will go to the factory soon. They have it on the other side of the valley. Yeah, we can also see the garden here. All is grass all around, so we trim the grass by hand. So still a lot of work like we had in other organic plantations. And they have Chinese organic certificate, so it's not European level, but just because they didn't made it, maybe they possibly can go, but at least we know that it's clean. It means it's have OBR, so the minimum requirements for sure they have, even more than minimum. So that's a really great place. We will research more. The taste of the tea also quite essential, because it's very say earthy, mineral notes, and also very delicate aroma, and it's also have a lot of brewing. So we tried maybe 7 infusions and still quite strong. So great. Maybe we'll spend more time here to know better the place, know better the tea, and know better the people, which is most important.
such a beautiful place actually. They, as many producers who are doing kind of agricultural activities and agro-tourism activities, they for sure have a small hotel, not even hotel, like homestay, which is for sure like few times more expensive than just a regular hotel in a city or in a village below. It's essential view and it's a essential place. All the time we have some wind coming from the mountains and the water. They create a great pool, water straight from the top of the mountain. Absolutely fantastic view. It's good to chill out. And they also collaborate with a local university and some students to develop proper relations with nature, to understand more about sustainable agriculture, make some agricultural tourism activities and so on. That's quite good. What we need to know about Yin Zhen, actually white tea produced from Shui Xian variety. It's single bud, only like this bud. And you can compare this tiny bud to the actually Shui Xian when you harvest the whole crop. It's actually 30 times more material you have from regular Shui Xian harvesting and from only single bud harvesting. And it means that the tea actually, let me say, 30 times more expensive. It's 16,000 yuan for 500 grams. So 32,000 yuan for kilo, which is around 6,000 euros for kilo here on a factory. I don't even hiding from you this information. If you want, welcome. But this tea, they only produce around 10 kilo a year, and it's absolutely fascinating. I can't even name this state. It's a very strong tea by state. And actually, you can see when you brew like white tea, you can think about, okay, it's very light. It means it's not strong. It means it's like very soft. But this kind of white tea you drink, and you immediately feel how strong chai tea or this tea, how strong is it? Everyone like became silent and you stand observing the mountains and a little bit stick to like just a kind of meditative state. A very special tea. So we're now in the factory which produced Yin Zhen Shui Xian. Now the production already finished. Here we have the ready product. You see these squares, still traditional paper packaging, how it looks like. And actually, yeah, the amount of local organic factory, not so big, but still. And one of the steps, also this is very special shape itself, but also the steps of production. They have the last stage, which is baking, and this baking regularly done like traditionally Wuxan or northern Guangdong technology, when you have this kind of thing and you put there ash. On the ash you put a little bit of charcoal, mostly used some specific fruit wood charcoal, and you cover it with the other layer of ash, and you just put the basket and you put some tea over here and you cover it, and that's it, and it's gone. Depending on the technology, depending on the time, it can be a few hours and multiple time. So you do baking, after you wait a little bit, after you do baking again. So this is a quite specific stage. And also need to control it and to adjust temperature, and it's all quite kind of manual technology. Yeah, you have special thing, like here. Yeah, but the main difference, I found this shelf. Most of the time we have this shelf that's quite regular honbei, so it's baking tixiangji, so like creation of aroma, baking. And it's electric, and it's just a one layer. You put some tea over here, and you just kind of dry it, and that's it. So just a regular dryer.
But here we have something completely different. This machine. I'm on the factories for many years, quite 2 decades, and still I never seen this. You see? So it looks at the same time like almost like regular, but actually this is kind of for baking. So you put few higher layer of tea. You see, it's actually manually made because I think it's not, it's their own development, I don't know, or made by order. So finally they have it like this. And here they actually have the charcoal. So it's not electric. The only that's here is made by machine is actually ventilation. And so they do it fully with charcoal, but multiple layer at one time. So it's more advanced technology, not like a bamboo one, but more advanced, very unusual. Yep, we hide the tea bag. It was here like that. And this is one of the biggest differences actually for Zhanping tea. Plantation of Shui Xian tea production. Actually, it's only one type out of few thousands of Chinese teas which produced this specific technology. So how they do it. I'm quite often here, but most of the time I'm arrived, they're not producing tea actually. And yeah, you take this white paper and you put it like that. After you scale the tea, after you take this mold, put the mold like here. It's actually made out of the very good quality hardwood. You put the tea and with this press, you press the tea and create kind of a cube, like a square shape. After you cover it and with this heating machine, you just a little bit make the paper stick to it. And actually here's a little bit more older version, wooden. But inside they also have a piece of metal because you need to press it quite strong. Yeah, so still quite similar way of production. Finally, we arrived to the end of the road, and just to arrive to this final plantation, we need to drive through all the forest because it's absolutely incredible plantation because it's just surrounded by the wild forest for many kilometers, and few kilometers, around maybe 4 kilometers, there is a factory. It's such a nature over here because I even just stayed and I firstly find out, okay, there's birds everywhere, birds and insects, which you regularly don't hear them, but here you hear them literally. There's the birds, there's the birds, there's the birds, all different sounds. So we're surrounded by wild forest. And this is actually how where real organic tea plantation must look like. Yeah, we see all the grass around, so no fertilizers, nothing. Absolutely fantastic soil over here. You can see so it's soil with a lot of stones, so it means a lot of minerals, and it means it's very good for tea. So the good aerations of the roots, good mineral supply of the roots, and yeah, because there's no any fertilizers, so the tea bushes need some natural resources to grow, and they have it here, yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's such a wonderful place. In our age of industry, urbanization everywhere, like any tiny piece of land occupied by someone who live there. And here
we have no one. And that's the best. Yeah, we have just Shui Xian bushes, and we have absolutely fantastic, beautiful area. Many of my friends, they often say, "Oh, Sergey, you are crazy. You just taking all your teaware and tea with you." I'm not crazy. I just love tea. As an owner of the factory, we just say, okay, it's such a pity we didn't make it happen. We didn't take any tea-related stuff with us. And so yes, I have everything. And he literally have all the tea set here, and he have also teaware for sure, and tea, and boiling, and gas, and everything, even tea tray. Real tea person. How it must be great. I really respect that. And because we just say, oh, such a beautiful table. Yeah, I made it for drinking tea. Oh, yeah, such a pity fact. We didn't take our teaware and tea and water and everything. I have everything with me. Perfect.